The moment she looked at his torn shirt, dusty shoes, and tired face, she stepped back as if he didn't belong in her world. People standing nearby smiled, whispered, and watched with amusement as the young man stood frozen, holding nothing but hope in his eyes. What happened next would become a story no one present would ever forget. Sometimes, the richest hearts wear the poorest clothes, and the greatest blessings arrive looking like ordinary strangers. Before we begin, if you believe kindness is more valuable than money and that everyone deserves a second chance, please like this video, comment where you're watching from, share this story with your friends and family, and subscribe to the Story Corner for more emotional and inspiring stories that touch the heart. Emily had always lived a life surrounded by luxury. Her father owned one of the biggest real estate companies in the city, and she grew up believing that success could be measured by expensive cars, elegant clothes, and exclusive parties. Everyone admired her beauty, confidence, and sophisticated lifestyle. Yet deep inside, she had unknowingly built walls around her heart, judging people before knowing their stories. Across town lived Daniel, a quiet young man who believed that true character could never be judged by appearance. He had inherited a massive business empire from his late grandfather, but instead of immediately taking over the family company, he chose to travel across different cities anonymously. He wanted to understand how ordinary people lived, how they struggled, and who truly valued humanity over wealth. His grandfather had once told him that anyone could attract friends with money, but only a few could earn genuine respect without revealing their fortune. One rainy afternoon, Daniel's old motorcycle broke down outside a luxurious hotel where a charity gala was about to begin. Covered in dust after trying to repair it himself, he decided to walk inside and ask if someone could help him call a mechanic. As he entered the grand entrance, many guests looked at him with confusion. Some assumed he had wandered in by mistake. Emily noticed him immediately. Seeing his worn clothes, she concluded he was just another poor man looking for charity. Without giving him the chance to explain, she stopped him before he reached the reception. Her cold expression spoke louder than any words. She politely but firmly suggested he leave, explaining that the event was private and reserved for invited guests. Several people nearby laughed quietly, making Daniel feel smaller with every passing second. Daniel simply smiled, thanked her for her honesty, and quietly walked away. There was no anger in his heart, only disappointment. Not because he had been rejected, but because kindness had become so rare among people who claimed to celebrate charity. That evening, Emily felt strangely unsettled. She couldn't explain why the image of the young man's calm eyes stayed in her mind. Unlike others who reacted with embarrassment or frustration, he had accepted humiliation with remarkable dignity. Still, she convinced herself she had done the right thing. The following week, Emily's father's company faced a financial crisis after several investors unexpectedly withdrew their support. News spread quickly throughout the business community. Projects were canceled, employees feared losing their jobs, and the family that had once appeared untouchable suddenly found themselves fighting to save everything they had built over decades. Desperate to rescue the company, Emily's father arranged a meeting with a mysterious investor who had recently purchased several major businesses across the country. Rumors described him as one of the youngest billionaires in America, someone known not only for extraordinary wealth but also for remarkable generosity. The day of the meeting arrived. Emily accompanied her father to the company's headquarters, expecting to meet an older businessman surrounded by expensive suits and luxury watches. Instead, when the conference room door slowly opened, her heart nearly stopped. Sitting at the head of the table was Daniel. He was dressed elegantly now, wearing a perfectly tailored suit, yet his eyes were exactly the same as the ones she had seen outside the hotel. Calm, gentle, humble. In that instant, Emily realized the poor man she had dismissed was actually the very person capable of saving her family's future. Embarrassment flooded her heart. Every memory of that humiliating afternoon returned with painful clarity. She wanted to disappear. Daniel greeted everyone warmly, never mentioning what had happened. He discussed business professionally, explaining his investment strategy and vision for rebuilding struggling companies. Throughout the meeting, he treated every employee with respect, asking about their families, listening carefully to their concerns, and thanking even the office assistants for their hard work. Emily watched silently. For the first time in her life, she witnessed someone whose wealth had not stolen his humility. After the meeting ended, Emily finally found the courage to approach him privately. Her voice trembled as she sincerely apologized for judging him based solely on his appearance. She admitted that she had allowed money and social status to define people's worth for far too long. Daniel listened quietly before telling her something his grandfather had taught him years ago. He explained that appearances can deceive everyone, but compassion never makes a mistake. A kind heart loses nothing by treating strangers with dignity. Those words changed Emily forever. Daniel agreed to invest in her father's company, but not because of profit alone. He believed hundreds of hard-working employees deserved another opportunity to support their families. Saving the business meant protecting countless lives that depended on it. Months passed. The company slowly recovered. Employees kept their jobs. New opportunities emerged. Hope returned where fear had once lived. Emily also began changing in ways that surprised everyone around her. She started volunteering at homeless shelters, visiting hospitals, and supporting educational programs for children from struggling families. She no longer cared about expensive appearances. Instead, she discovered joy in helping people who could never repay her. One cold winter morning, she visited a community center where volunteers served meals to families in need. As she handed food to an elderly woman, she noticed Daniel quietly washing dishes in the kitchen alongside other volunteers. No photographers, no media, no publicity, just genuine kindness. She finally understood that true greatness isn't measured by what people own, but by what they willingly give away. Years later, Emily often reflected on the day she rejected the man standing outside the hotel. Had Daniel responded with bitterness or revenge, her life might never have changed. Instead, he chose forgiveness over pride and compassion over humiliation. Eventually, friendship between them grew into deep trust, and trust slowly blossomed into love. Their relationship wasn't built on wealth, beauty, or social status, but on mutual respect, forgiveness, and personal growth. Whenever young entrepreneurs asked Daniel the secret behind his success, he rarely spoke about investments or business strategies. Instead, he reminded them that the greatest opportunities often arrive disguised as ordinary people, and the worst financial decision anyone can make is underestimating another human being. Emily shared a similar lesson whenever she spoke at charity events. She admitted that the biggest mistake of her life had not been rejecting a poor-looking stranger. It had been believing appearance revealed someone's value. Because every person carries a story invisible to the eyes. Some wear expensive suits while carrying broken hearts. Others wear torn clothes while carrying extraordinary character. And sometimes, the person everyone ignores today becomes the one who changes countless lives tomorrow. Before we reach the end, we'd love to hear from you. Please comment with the words, "Kindness sees beyond appearance," if you believe every person deserves respect regardless of how they look. If this story touched your heart, reminded you never to judge someone by their appearance, or inspired you to treat others with greater compassion, please like this video, leave a heartfelt comment, share it with someone who needs this message today, and subscribe to the Story Corner. Your support helps us continue bringing emotional stories that inspire kindness, hope, forgiveness, and second chances. Always remember, the richest person in the room is not the one with the biggest bank account. It is the one whose heart remains humble when life gives them every reason to become proud. Sometimes one act of kindness changes a stranger's day, but sometimes it changes your entire life.